Welcome back to my channel Math School. In today's video we will solve the MCQs from chapter 7 coordinate geometry. In my previous videos I have completed the revision for this chapter as well. So if you have not watched that video, do find the link in the description box below or click the I button above. So watch the video till the end and also like my video and subscribe to my channel so that I can make more such videos for you guys. Multiple choice questions or MCQs from chapter 7 coordinate geometry. So here I have taken all the important and direct MCQ questions from this chapter, as most probably direct questions will be asked in your examination as stated by our Karnataka Secondary Education Examination Board. In my previous video I have taken a quick revision for this chapter 7 coordinate geometry. So do watch that video before solving these MCQ questions so that it will be easier for you guys to follow. So now let us begin with question number 1. The distance of the point P 2, 3 from x-axis is. As I had explained in the revision part of this chapter, so let me draw the graph again for you guys. So this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis and this is the origin. So they have given us a point P, that is 2, 3. So x coordinate of this point P is 2. It is 2 on the x-axis, and on the y-axis the value given is 3. So this is the point P. Now they are asking us to find out the distance of this point P from x-axis. So this distance we have to find out. So what is this distance? This distance is equal to, it is from 0 to 3. So this distance is nothing but 3 units. So always whenever they ask you the distance of a point from x-axis, then the answer will be our y coordinate, right? Similarly, if they ask the distance from the y-axis, the answer will be our x coordinate. So here our correct option is option B. Question number 2. The distance between the points A 0, 6 and B 0, -2 is. So here they have asked us the distance. So we will apply the distance formula to find out the distance between any two points. So therefore the distance AB will be equal to, what is the distance formula? Let us write down the formula first. That is x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. So here we can assume our first point to be x1 y1 and the second point to be x2 y2, and accordingly we will substitute in the formula to find out the result. This is square root of what is x2 value? 0 minus x1 is 0 the whole square plus y2 is -2 minus of y1, that is 6 the whole square. So this will be, here 0 minus 0 will be 0. So -2 and -6 will be -8 the whole square. So square of any negative term will be positive itself. 8 square is 64, or 6 square of 64 is again 8. So our correct option is option B. So in this manner we should apply the distance formula to find out the distance between any two points. Question number 3. The distance of point P from the origin is. There is a formula to find out the distance of any given point P from the origin O. So this distance is given by, I have already given this in my previous video, that is OP is equal to square root of x square plus y square. This is the direct formula. So we have to take square root of x square plus y square of this point P. So that will be square root of -6 the whole square plus y square is 8. So that will be square root of -6 the whole square is 36 plus 8 square is 64. So this will be square root of 36 plus 64 is 100. What is square root of 100? It is 10. So our correct option is option C. Question number 4. The distance between the points 0, 5 and -5, 0 is. So here again we will apply the distance formula by taking a first point to be x1, y1 and our second point will be x2, y2. So what is the distance formula? It is x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. Applying the formula here, what is x2 value? It is -5 minus of x1 is 0 the whole square plus y2 is 0 minus y1 is 5 the whole square. It is -5 minus 0 will be -5. -5 the whole square will be 25 plus again here 0 minus 5 is again -5. So -5 the whole square is 25 equal to square root of 25 plus 25 is 50. So what is square root of 50? So 50 can also be written as 25 into 2, where 25 is nothing but 5 square into 2. So here squaring of this number 5 is done. This comes out of the square root. This will be 5 root 2. So our correct option is option B. So don't go wrong in simplification. Always cross check once after you find out the result. Question number 5. AOBC is a rectangle whose three vertices are A 0,3, O 0,0 and B is 5,0. The length of its diagonal is. So read the question correctly and draw the figure first. So we have a rectangle here and it is named as AOBC. Always remember, we have to name any given figure in a cyclic order. It is a AOBC. Don't name it as AOBC like that. Always we have named that any given figure in a cyclic order. Only then your answer will be correct. This is a very important point here. So they have given us the vertex for point A as 0,3, point O is 0,0, point B is 5,0. Only these three vertices are given and they are asking us to find the length of its diagonal. So since vertex A and B is given, we will find out this diagonal AB. So to find out the diagonal AB, given point A and point B, how do we find out this distance? This distance can be found out by applying the distance formula here again. So let us assume point A to be x1, y1 and point B to be x2, y2. The distance formula, which is given by x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. So I'm writing the formula again so that you will be able to memorize the formula. So what is x2? x2 is 5 minus x1 is 0 the whole square plus y2 is 0 minus y1 is 3 the whole square. So that will be square root of 5 minus 0 is 5 square plus 0 minus 3 is minus 3 square. So that will be square root of 5 square is 25 plus minus 3 the whole square is 9. So 25 plus 9 is square root of 34. So our correct option is option C. So in this manner we can find out the length of a diagonal. Question number 6. The perimeter of a triangle with vertices 0,4, 0,0 and 3,0. So here we have a triangle whose vertices are given. Again here I am naming the triangle in a cyclic manner A, B and C. Vertices are given as 0,4, 0,0 and 3,0. So here we have to find out the perimeter. What is the perimeter of a triangle given by? Perimeter of triangle is given by adding all the three sides, that is AB plus BC plus AC. So this is very much important to find out the perimeter. So you should know perimeter is equal to sum of the length of all the three sides of a triangle. So here again they have given us coordinates of point A, B and C in this triangle. So we will apply distance formula again to find out the length AB, BC and AC. Okay, so distance formula is given by what? Square root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. Right, so first we will find out the distance AB by taking point A as x1, y1 and point B as x2, y. AB is equal to square root of what is x2? x2 is 0 minus x1 is also 0 plus y2 is 0 minus y1 is 4 the whole square. So here this term is 0. So square root of minus 4 the whole square is 16. Square root of 16 is again 4. So the distance AB is 4. Now let us calculate BC similarly. BC is equal to, now here let us assume point B to be x1, y1 and point C to be x2, y2. Okay, now we can apply the formula. x2 is 3 minus 0 the whole square plus y2 is 0 minus 0 the whole square. So again square of 3 square is 9. So square root of 9 is again 3. BC value is 3. Now what is AC value? To find out AC, again let us assume point A to be x1, y1 and point C to be x2, y2. Applying the distance formula here. So x2 is 3 minus x1 is 0 the whole square plus y2 is 0 minus y1 is 4 the whole square. So this will be square root of 3 square is 9 minus 4 the whole square will be 16. So that will be square root of 25, which is equal to 5. So the distance AC is 5. Now we can find out the perimeter by adding AB plus BC plus AC, that is 4 plus 3 plus 5, which is equal to 12. So our correct option is option B. Question number 7. The area of a triangle with vertices A is 3, 0, B 7, 0 and C 8, 4 is. So here we have to find out area of a triangle given 3 vertices of this triangle, right? So for this we have a formula, right, which I have discussed in my revision of this video, chapter 7 coordinate geometry. So what is the area of a triangle? Area of a triangle formula is given by, so there is also a small tip to remember this formula. A triangle has 3 vertices, so I'm writing down the points in this manner and we will take here the cyclic order. So area of a triangle is given by half into x1. We will take x1 and in the bracket y coordinate comes. So what is the number after 1? It is 2 and 3. So we will take y2 minus y3. Similarly, now I'll take x2. So what is the number after 2? It is 3 and 1. So it is y3 minus y1 plus x3. So what is the number after 3? It is 1 and 2. So here I'll take y1 minus y. This is the manner in which you remember the area of a triangle. Okay, so here now let us assume point A to be x1 y1, point B to be x2 y2 and point C to be x3 y. Substitute the values in the formula, you will get area of the triangle. Okay, so what is x1 value? It is 3, y2 is 0 and y3 is 4 plus x2 is 7, y3 is 4 minus y1 is 0 plus x3 is 8 and y1 is 0 minus y2 is also 0. So this will be half into 0 minus 4 is minus 4. So 3 minus 4 is minus 12 plus 4 minus 0 is 4. 4 sevens are 28. Here 0 minus 0 is 0. So anything into 0 will be 0 again. So this will be half minus 12 plus 28. If you subtract, you get 16. So cancelling to 1 times to 8 times. So our correct answer is 8 units. Okay, so our correct option is option C. Question number 8. The points minus 4, 0, 4, 0 and 0, 3 are the vertices of. Here they have given us the 4 option: right angle, isosceles triangle, equilateral triangle and scalene triangle, right? So we have to find out the length of their sides by using these vertices. So as we know, in a right angle triangle, hypotenuse is the longest side. The sum of the other two sides will give you the hypotenuse. If this property is satisfied, then it is a right angle triangle. In case of an isosceles triangle, we know two sides will be equal. In the case of an isosceles triangle, two sides of the triangle will be equal, and in case of an equilateral triangle, the length of all the 3 sides will be equal. And the fourth option is scalene triangle. In case of scalene triangle, all the 3 sides are unequal. These are the properties of these triangles. So by using these points or the vertices, let us find out which triangle it is, right? So let us assume a triangle ABC. So let us take point A as minus 4, 0, point B as 4, 0 and point C as 0, 3. Again, we will apply the distance formula for each side, which is given by square root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. So no need to write the formula again and again. If you know the formula directly, you can apply here. Okay, so let us find out the side AB by again taking point A as x1 y1 and point B as x2 y2. So this will be square root of x2 minus x1, that is 4 minus of minus 4 will become plus 4 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 is 0 minus 0 the whole square. So what is 4 plus 4? It is 8. So 8 square will be how much? 8 again, because the square and square term will get cancelled. So AB is 8. What is BC? Again applying the formula, it is 0 minus 4 the whole square plus 3 minus 0 the whole square. So this will be minus 4 the square is 16 plus 3 square is 9. That is 16 plus 9 is 25, which is equal to 5. So side BC is 5. Now what is side AC? Again applying the formula, you get 0 minus of minus 4 is plus 4 the whole square plus 3 minus 0 the whole square. So that will be 4 square is 16 plus 3 square is 9. Again it is square root of 25, which is equal to 5. So the side AC is also 5. So you can notice that side BC is equal to side AC. So since two sides are equal, then it is an isosceles triangle, right? So our correct option is option B. So in this manner, you can find out which type of triangle is formed by these three given vertices. Question number 9. The point which divides the line segment joining the points 7, minus 6 and 3, 4 in the ratio 1:2 internally lies in which quadrant? So here they are saying us that there is a line segment AB whose coordinates are given, that is 7, minus 6 and 3, 4. And they're saying us that there is a point P which divides this line segment in the ratio 1:2. So we have to find out this point P, and also we have to find out in which quadrant this point P lies. By now you must have known that here we have to apply the section formula, right? So section formula is given by m1 x2 plus m2 x1 divided by m1 plus m2. This is the x coordinate part of this point P, and the y coordinate part will be m1 y2 m2 y1 divided by m1 plus m2. So here our m1 value will be 1 and m2 value will be 2, and also point A, let us assume to be x1 y1 and point B to be x2 y2. So applying the formula here, what is m1? It is 1 into x2 is 4 plus m2 is 2 into x1 is 7 divided by 1 plus 2. Again m1 is 1 into y2 is 4 plus is here plus m2 is 2 and y1 is minus 6 divided by 1 plus 2. So this will be 1 into 4 is 4 plus 7 2s are 14 divided by 3. This is 4 1s are 4 minus 6 2s are 12 divided by 3. Okay, so what is 4 plus 14? It is 18 by 3, comma 4 minus 12 is minus 9 by 3. Minus 9 by 3. So cancelling here 3 1 times, 3 6 times. Again here 3 1 times, 3 times. We will get the point as 6, minus 3. So here you can notice that x is positive and y is negative. So in the first quadrant we get both x and y positive. In second quadrant we get x negative and y positive. In the third quadrant both are negative, and in the fourth quadrant we have x positive and y negative. So here we can notice that the point x is positive and y is negative. Our correct option is, it is in fourth quadrant. So it is option D. So in this manner we can find out the quadrant in which the point lies. Question number 10. The point which lies on the perpendicular bisector of the line segment joining the points. So we have a line segment AB. Again the coordinates are given as minus 2, minus 5 and B is 2, 5. So we have to find out the point which lies on the perpendicular bisector. So there is a perpendicular bisector and we have to find out the point P here. So we know that the perpendicular bisector divides a line segment equally in two parts. Therefore, the point P forms the midpoint of this line segment AB. So whenever we have to find out of the midpoint of a line segment AB, there is a formula again which is called as the midpoint formula. Again, this is an important formula for you guys. So which is given by x1 plus x2 divided by 2. This is the x coordinate, and y coordinate is y1 plus y2 divided by, right? So here we can find out the midpoint by applying this formula. So here again assume point A to be x1 y1 and point B to be x2, y. So the midpoint, that is Px comma y, is equal to, what is x1? It is minus 2, x2 is plus 2 divided by 2, y1 is minus 5, and y2 is plus 5 divided by 2. And you can notice that minus 2 plus 2 will be 0. So 0 divided by anything will be 0. Again here minus 5 plus 5 is also 0. So 0 divided by 2 will be 0. So our point which lies on the perpendicular bisector of the line segment joining the points A and B is 0, 0, which is option A. Question number 11. The fourth vertex D of a parallelogram ABCD whose 3 vertices are given. So here we have a parallelogram and we will name it in the cyclic order as ABCD. So in this parallelogram 3 vertices are given, that is vertex A is minus 2, 3, B is 6, 7 and vertex C is 8, 3. And we have to find out this vertex D. So from the properties of parallelogram, we know that this intersection of the two diagonals will form the midpoint of two diagonals. Diagonal AC, we know the vertex A and vertex C. So we can find out the midpoint of AC, and then by using this midpoint, we will find out the vertex D in diagonal BD. So we know the midpoint formula, which is given by x1 plus x2 divided by 2 and y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So let us apply the midpoint formula to the diagonal AC, assuming point A to be x1 y1 and point C to be x2 y2. Minus 2 plus 8 divided by 2 and 3 plus 3 divided by 2. So this will be 6 by 2 and 3 plus 3 is again 6 by 2. So that will be how much? 2 1 times, 2 3 times, again 2 1 times, 2 3 times, that is 3, 3. So our midpoint will be 3, 3. Now apply the midpoint formula to the diagonal BD. Now we know the midpoint already here, that is 3, 3, and let us take point D coordinates as x, y and assume this point to be x1, y1 and point B to be x2, y2, right? So x1 plus x2 will be x plus 6 divided by 2 and 7 plus y divided by 2. Now let us take the x coordinate part on both left hand side and right hand side. On left hand side x coordinate is 3 and on right hand side it is x plus 6 divided by 2. Cross multiplying 3 2s are 6 is equal to x plus 6, or x is equal to 6 minus 6, where x is equal to 0. Similarly, let us equate the y coordinate now. That is 3 is equal to 7 plus y by 2. So 3 2s are 6 is equal to 7 plus y, or y is equal to 6 minus 7, or y is equal to minus 1. So the coordinate here, x coordinate we got 0 and y as minus 1. So our correct answer is option B. So our coordinate of D will be 0, minus 1, right? So in this manner, we will find out one of the coordinates of the parallelogram. Now coming to question number 12, the ratio in which the line segment joining the points P and Q is divided by the point O, that is minus 1, 6. So here we have a line segment AB whose coordinates are given as minus 3, 10 and 6, minus 8, and there is a point O which divides this line in some ratio. So let us assume this ratio initially to be k:1. So now we can apply the section formula to find out this ratio. So we know the section formula is given by m1 x2 plus m2 x1 divided by m1 plus m2, right? And the y coordinate part is m1 y2 plus m2 y1 divided by m1 plus m2. Here our k value will be m1 and 1 will be m2, and assuming point A to be x1 y1 and point B to be x2 y2, substitute in the formula. M1 is k, x2 is 6 plus m2 is 1 and x1 is minus 3 divided by m1 plus m2 is k plus 1. Similarly, the y coordinate part will be m1 is k into y2 is minus 8 plus m2 is 1 and y1 is 10 divided by k plus 1. Okay, and what is the point P given by which divides the line? It is minus 1, 6. Now again here we will equate the x coordinate part separately and y coordinate part separately to find out the ratio k is to 1. So taking the x coordinate part and equating, minus 1 is equal to, here we have 6k, plus into minus will be minus 3 divided by k plus 1. So cross multiplying we get minus k, plus into minus is minus 1 is equal to 6k minus 3. So when this minus k comes to right hand side, it will become 7k, and when this minus 3 comes to the left hand side, it becomes plus 2 is equal to 7k, or k is equal to, this is plus 2 equal to 7k, or k is equal to 2 divided by 7, or the ratio is 2 is to 7. Okay, the ratio in which this point O divides the line segment AB is 2 is to 7. Our correct option is option C. Question number 13. If P A by 3, 4 is the midpoint of the line segment, the points Q minus 6, 5 and R minus 2, 3, then the value of A is. So here they are saying us that the P is the midpoint of a line, QR is a line segment whose coordinates are given as minus 6, 5 and minus 2, 3, and the midpoint is P whose coordinates are given by A by 3, 4. So here we will find out the value of A by applying the midpoint formula. So midpoint formula we already know is given by x1 plus x2 divided by 2 plus y1 plus y2 divided by 2, right? So let us assume point Q to be x1 y1 and point R to be x2 y2. So substituting, we know already the midpoint, which is A by 3, 4. So x1 plus x2 will be minus 6 minus 2 divided by 2, and our y coordinate is y1 plus y2, which is 5 plus 3 divided by 2. So in x coordinate we have to find out the A value. So we will equate the x coordinate from the left hand side, that is A by 3, equal to x coordinate on the right hand side, which is equal to minus 6 minus 2 divided by 2. So cross multiplying, we are going to get 2A is equal to minus 3 into 6 is 18, minus 18 minus 6. So that will be 2A is equal to minus 24. A is equal to minus 24 by 2, that is 2 1 times, 2 1 times 2, 2 times, or A is equal to minus 12. So our correct option is option B. Question number 14. The area of a rhombus if its vertices are 3, 0, 4, 5, minus 1, 4 and minus 2, minus 1 taken in an order. So we have a rhombus. Let us name this rhombus as A, B, C, D in a cyclic order. First point we will take point A as 3, 0, point B is 4, 5, point C is minus 1, 4 and point D is minus 2, minus 1. So here we have to find out area of this rhombus. So how do we do that? Area of a rhombus, write down, this is very much important. Area of rhombus whenever the coordinates are given is equal to half into product of its diagonals. Okay, so here which are the diagonals? Here diagonals are AC and BD. So the product of the length of the diagonals, which is half into AC into BD, will give you the area of this rhombus. So we can find out the length of AC and BD by applying distance formula, which is given by square root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. Here, to find out AC, we can assume point A to be x1 y1 and point C to be x2 y2. So length AC is equal to square root of x2 is minus 1 minus 3 the whole square plus y2 is 4 minus 0 the whole square. So that will be square root of minus 4 square plus 4 square. So that is 4 4s are 16 plus 16. So that will be square root of 32. But here 32 can be written as 16 into 2, where 16 is nothing but 4 square into 2. So since the squaring of number 4 is done, therefore AC will be equal to 4 root 2. Similarly, let us find out this diagonal BD by applying the distance formula. Again, let us assume point A to be x1 y1 and point D to be x2, y2 now. So therefore square root of x2 is minus 2 minus 4 the whole square plus minus 1 minus 5 the whole square. So this will be square root of minus 6 square plus minus 6 square. So square root of minus 6 will be 36 plus 36. Now 36 plus 36 is nothing but square root of 72. Again 72 can be written as 36 into 2 is 72. What is the square root of 36? That is nothing but 6. So therefore 6 can be brought out. 6 root 2 can be written here. Now let us substitute in this formula. So substituting in this formula, we get half into AC we got as 4 root 2 and BD we got it as 6 root 2. Right? What is root 2 into root 2? Root 2 into root 2 is nothing but 2. So this root 2 into root 2 and denominator 2 will get cancelled, and 6 4s are 24 square units is the area of the rhombus. So our correct option is option B. So this formula is very much important. Area of a rhombus is given by half of product of its diagonal. So using this formula we will find out the area. Question number 15. The distance of a point h comma k from x-axis is. So again we have to find out the distance of a point h comma k from x-axis. Previously I have explained from x-axis distance of a point is given by our y value. So here our distance will be our y value which is equal to k, and also notice that y value can be either positive or negative, but without considering the signs we have to just take the y value which is equal to k. So here option D is a correct option, that is without considering the plus or minus sign we have to take the y coordinate value to find out the distance of a point from x-axis. Question number 16. The end points of a diameter of a circle are 2, 4 and minus 3, 1. The radius of the circle is. So here we have a circle and they have given us the diameter of the circle whose ends are 2, 4 and minus 3, minus 1. So if this is the diameter, what will be the radius? From the center of the circle to one of the point we will have the radius. Since the diameter is given, the center point of the circle we have to find out. After finding out the center O, we will find out the length of the radius R. The midpoint of any given line can be found out by using the midpoint formula, right? So let us assume our first one end of the diameter to be x1, y1 and the other end to be x2, y2. Now we can apply the midpoint formula here to find out the midpoint or the center O. So x1 plus x2, that is 2 minus 3 divided by 2, and the y coordinate will be 4 minus 1 divided by 2. So this will be 2 minus 3 is minus 1 by 2 and 4 minus 1 is 3 by 2. So this is our center point, okay, that is O. So from this center point to the other end, any one of the end we can take and we can find out the radius or the length of the radius. Okay, so now length of the radius can be found out by taking the center point O, which we found out to be minus 1, 2 and 3, 2. We can take this point as x1, y1, and now minus 3, minus 2 will be x2, y2. So here we will apply the distance formula now. That is square root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. So x2 is minus 3 minus x1 is 2 plus y2 is minus 1 minus y1 will be minus 4 the whole square. This will be minus 5 square plus minus 5 square. That is nothing but 5 square is 25 plus 5 square is also 25, which will give you 50, or 50 can be written as 25 into 2. So square root of 25 is 5, which comes out. So it is 5 root 2. Radius of the circle is 5 root 2. So our correct option is option B. Question number 17. A line intersects the y-axis and x-axis of the point PQ respectively. If 2, minus 5 is the midpoint of PQ, then the coordinates of point P and Q are respectively. So here they have given us y-axis and x-axis and a line PQ we have which intersects y-axis and x-axis, and the midpoint of this line PQ is 2, -5. Then we have to find out the coordinates of point P and point Q. So this question can be solved by using given options. So here we should find out the midpoint. So midpoint formula is given by what? Midpoint formula is equal to x1 plus x2 divided by 2. This is the x coordinate, and y coordinate is y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So here we have to find out the coordinates of P and Q such that its midpoint is 2, -5. So from the given options we will check which two coordinates will give you this midpoint 2, -5. So if you check with our first coordinate and assume first point to be x1 y1 and second point to be x2 y2, so x1 plus x2 is how much? 2 plus 0 by 2 and -5 plus 0 by 2, that is y1 plus y2 by 2. So this will give you how much? 2 by 2 will be 1 and -5 by 2. Is this the midpoint? No. So let us move to the second option. So second option here again x1 plus x2 is -4 divided by 2 will be -2, and 10 plus 0 is 10 divided by 2 will be 5. So we got the point -2, 5. Is it correct? No. If we go to option C, 0 plus -10 is -10 divided by 2 we get -5, and 4 plus 0 is 4 divided by 2 is 2. So is this the point again? No. Our last option is option D. Let us check. 0 plus 4 is 4 divided by 2 is 2, -10 plus 0 is -10 divided by 2 will be -5. So here option D is 2, -5 is the midpoint of the line PQ. Therefore our correct option is option D, where 0, -10 is point P and 4, 0 will be our point Q, which intersects the y-axis and x-axis respectively. Our correct option is option D. So in this manner, by using the options, we can find out coordinates of the point P and point Q. Question number 18. The area of the triangle with vertices A, B plus C, B, C plus A, and C, A plus B. So again, here we have to find out area of the triangle by assuming these three coordinates. So we will take these coordinates as x1, y1, x2, y2, and x3, y3. We will find out area of the triangle by using the formula which is given by half into x1 y2 minus y3 plus x2 y3 minus y1 plus x3 will be y1 minus y2. Okay, so substitute in the formula. Half into x1 is A, y2 is C plus A, minus y3 is A plus B. So plus, what is x2? x2 is B into y3 is A plus B minus y1 is B plus C. I'm writing in the brackets because there is a minus sign here. Plus x3 is C, y1 is B plus C, minus y2 is again A plus B. So let us open the bracket carefully without making any mistakes. So here we have A. So this is C plus A. Open the bracket, you get minus A minus B plus B, A plus B. Opening the bracket, you get minus B minus C plus C. Then we have B plus C. Opening the bracket, you get minus A minus B. So here you can cancel plus A and minus A, plus B and minus B, plus B and minus B again. Now if you multiply A into C, AC minus AB plus AB you have again. Then again you have minus BC. So here if you multiply, so here I made a mistake. Y2 is C plus A here. This is C plus A. So when you open this bracket, you get B plus C minus A. Here plus C and minus C will get cancelled. So plus C into B is plus BC and minus AC. Right, so here you can notice we have plus AC and minus AC which cancel, minus AB and plus AB cancel, and minus BC and plus BC will cancel. So here we got the result as 0. So half into 0 will be 0. So therefore our correct option is option B, that is area of the triangle is 0. Question number 19, if the distance between the points A and B is equal to 5, then the value of x is. So here we have a line segment AB whose coordinates are given as 2, -2 and -1, x. And they're saying us that the distance is equal to 5. So we have to find out the value of x. So let us apply the distance formula, that is equal to square root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. So let us assume point A to be x1 y1 and point B to be x2 y. So we will get here square root of what is, so here they have already said us that the distance is 5. So distance AB is 5, equal to applying the formula now. What is x2? It is -1 minus of 2 the whole square plus y2 is x minus of y1, that is minus into minus will become plus 2 the whole square. So 5 is equal to square root of -3 the whole square plus x plus 2 the whole square. So this will be square root of 9 plus x plus 2 the whole square. So to remove the square root term, we can square on both the sides. So 5 square will be 25. So squaring on both the sides, this square root and square term will cancel, and this is 5 square. So 5 square is 25. So this will cancel out and you will get 9 plus x plus 2 the whole square. So let us send this 9 to left hand side. You get 25 minus 9 is equal to x plus 2 the whole square, which is 16 is equal to x plus 2 the whole square. So again let us take square root on both the sides so that the square term will get cancelled. It will be easier to solve in this manner. So square root of 16 is 4, equal to this, and square root and square will get cancelled. So we get x plus 2, or sending this 2 to left hand side, we get x is equal to 4 minus 2, x is equal to 2. So we got the value of x as equal to 2. So our correct option is option A. So our last question is question number 20. If the points A, O, C are collinear, then the word collinear says that area of a triangle is equal to 0. So when the area is 0, we have to find out this relationship. So in a triangle there are 3 vertices. So let us take the first vertex as x1 y1, second as x2 y2, and third as x3 y3, and let us apply the formula for area of a triangle. Formula for area of a triangle is given by half into x1 into y2 minus y3 plus x2 into y3 minus y1 plus here x3 into y1 minus y2. So this is the formula. Now let us substitute the values. So 0 is equal to 1 by 2 into x1 is 1, y2 is 0 minus y3 is b, plus x2 is 0 into y3 is b, minus y1 is 2 plus x3 is a into y1 is 2 minus y2 is 0. If you send this 1 by 2 to left hand side, 0 into 1 by 2 will be 0, equal to, here we have 0 minus b, which is minus b into 1 will be minus b. So anything multiplied with 0 will be 0. So the second whole term gets cancelled. Then we have 2 minus 0 is 2. So 2 into a is plus 2a. Sending this b to left hand side, we get b is equal to 2a, right? So we got the relationship, that is our correct option is option B, where a is equal to 2b. So in this manner we solve all the multiple choice question for this chapter 7 coordinate geometry. So do like the video and subscribe to my channel so that I can make more MCQ questions for all the chapters, and also watch the videos shown on the screen for other chapters solved MCQ questions. Thank you.